Greetings, everyone, and welcome to yet another chapter of Shoulda Had a D8, where we invite friends, fans, family, and cast members to join us as we talk about the previous episodes of Descent into the Void and the Natural Ones. Today we have the cast of Descent into the Void. So thank you for joining me. Travis, who plays King.
Hello.
Lewis, who plays Horatio.
Hello, everyone.
Alex, who plays Minako.
Hey.
And Adam, who plays Duran.
Hi, Internet.
So let's just jump right in there. We had quite the epic session. So last time, the Liberators had found themselves fighting off the undead and then faced off against Dark Ren, without doing any damage to her, was able to break the hold that Doramo had placed onto her using the power of friendship and kindness and love. And in doing so, she was released from his pull, but knew many things that happened, especially knowing that Doramo confirmed is the dark god known as Erebus, and his plan to flood the entire multiverse with chaos and bring the abyss for like a hell on earth or abyss on earth scenario. And in doing so, he said that he already had the means to get the shard from the Corporus Arcana in the form of one of the founding families, Horatio being part of one of the Dularians, but Judean Sunfell being a Sunfell of the other. Though it seemed like he just had a very, very strong connection and want to bring Horatio to his side, which he had proposed as you all had teleported to stop Doramo from getting the shard to the Corporus. Saw all of the Corporus Arcana members run out there, flying their wyverns and run away in fear, as if they were being commanded to leave or just could not do anything to defend themselves. And eventually finding your way to a secret room that was behind the portrait of Erebus, where you were face to face with Doran's warband and Judean Sunfell pulling out from this ancient runic room full of magic the shard. And then, of course, the entire place was a ticking time bomb waiting to go off. And as Doramo tried to plead to make you come to his side, revealing his dastardly plans, he said to warn you guys not to use any magic. But in doing so, all of you flung magic such as stuns and Horatio's bolt, a witch bolt, and then everyone seemed to pair up, using all your vagaries and abilities to your hand to brace yourself as the entire place exploded, much to Doramo's chagrin. And we had left off with the entire Corporus castle falling down and destroying a bunch of Thelos. So, my first question goes to Horatio. So, Lewis, finding out that that Doramo wants you, the connection between you and your mother, the goddess Gaia, and the fact that you could learn new abilities and magic, he tried to sway you to his side. What was going through your head during your meeting, your confrontation with Doramo?
I mean, Horatio was just looking at this dude like a person that has just come and hurt so many people. And when Doramo asked Horatio to join, he just was taken aback a bit. Obviously, Doramo doesn't know Horatio at all, but Horatio was never gonna join him, and he was just getting more and more upset because he just felt like this guy really thinks he could have his way with whatever. And yeah, he was already on Archon of Power mode, so his anger was building up more and more, and yeah, he was not having it.
And how about finding out that Doramo was the progenitor, the creator, or one of the creators of the Corporus Arcana millennia ago?
That did come as a shock to Horatio. And even Lewis as well was shocked by that. But he didn't care. I mean, it seemed like everyone else had to follow his command to the T, but not Horatio. So, he didn't care that he was the progenitor. It's you fucked it up. I gotta fix it.
And then now, no, and then my last question to you for that part is also finding out that Hallister also has some dastardly plan that involves your mother and Erebus wanting to just join the Trias back together again to unlock their powers or whatever he meant by that.
I mean, Horatio already knew that Hallister had his mother. He's always wondering what it is that Dorama wants. Now this just adds more questions to him, like why does he need me or my mother? Why does he want to bring us back together? So, apparently, maybe, spitballing here, maybe it's some, he needs the three of us or the three of them to join up to be able to be a conduit to open something else, or to really flood all the multi-planes with chaos energy, but again, doesn't really care what his plans is, just wants to stop him.
Indeed. So, and then in the midst of this, of everything that happened, you had to face off with one of your allies turned foe in the form of Dark Ren. So my next question goes to Alex for Minako. We saw Minako is closest to Ren, and through the power of friendship, you finally were able to break her from her hold, break her out of her hold, and indeed not damage her. So what was going through Minako as she went through this experience? We saw a lot of RP happen between the two of them.
I mean, Ren's her friend. She knows her. They're close. She wasn't about to raise arms against her. And just seeing, like, I think there was like seeing her like that was very painful for her. Rather, seeing Ren like that was very painful for Minako. I mean, like, being forced to do something like that against your will, and then not to mention whatever kind of horrific sensation it must be to have all that chaos energy around. I don't know. It seemed bad for her, so we had to get her out of that. We had to. She didn't even have her gourd.
With Minako aiding with King and everyone. Well, let me rephrase that. With the Liberators all joining together and finally breaking her free from that. My question would be, does Minako have a newfound, like, let's say, connection with the group as they all aided her to break out, like, her, basically, like, we're joking, like, her auntie?
I mean, she's been growing closer and closer to the group. This is, like, the fact that they saved her instead of, I mean, it's not really expected that they would have turned on her like that. I mean, they're the Liberators. They're the good guys. And she does feel like she's part of the team at this point. But yeah, it's a big step in, like, I guess, fully trusting everyone.
So as you all continued and went there, you revealed your infernal familiar, much to a shock of the party members. I know it seemed like to me that Minako would just, I need to use whatever is at my ability to do so. I don't care if it reveals or not, because she wanted to stop Dorama. But was there any hesitation or anything fear from what she was about to do, revealing this little part of her that she kept secret?
It was a bit of a relief for her, I think, because she already talked to them about how she works for a devil. She dabbles in the infernal arts, and so revealing the true form of her familiar is just one more step in being close and honest with the party.
Right. And to anyone in the party, any worry at that moment, or was all the characters just focused on getting to Dorama?
I believe Cal freaked the F out. He was like,
yeah.
What the
He
is
did.
that?
Yeah, Cal indeed freaked out. I think Duran was a little bit like, what is that, too? Like,
Yeah, it was like a very, like, we had to act moment, so we only had, like, literally, like, a round or two's worth of reactions, and then we had to, like, move.
Yeah.
So I don't think anyone really got time to process it, but it will definitely be coming back up.
Yeah, we definitely had some accusations and some questions to make, but we were on a crunch time, so.
I am actually pretty excited to see whenever all this mess that you guys are in, it gets resolved, what all the conversations you'll have, because as we'll get into a moment, you all split up in the end. But before we do jump into that, I do want to ask Travis for King, going on with Ren. I just had a quick question. Was there any type of residual feelings, or like seeing Ren again and like seeing her in this state, or was it like totally platonic now?
Of course, like I don't think that I ever had like more than just like a flirt or two towards Ren. I don't think it was ever going to go anywhere. But seeing her in this state was still devastating to King because of the friendship and connection that they had. Like, yeah, when I was doing the Matan Doku no Jutsu and doing the Mud Dome, you know, I was trying to like show off to her and sort of like flex my muscles and like, you know, get everyone jazzed. So, you know, I know that there was a little bit of a connection there and we were playing that up a minute, but you know, even if it wasn't like love, she was still a good friend and someone that I didn't want to see hurt. So I'm glad we were able to resolve it without actually like damaging her. And it's definitely a Steam achievement to, you know, defeat a boss without doing any damage to them.
But she did a lot of damage to us.
I know.
Yeah.
She did do a lot of damage to us.
Speaking of damage, you guys were able to rack up the damage in that battle against like the remnants and other creatures due to you finally combining your vagaries in ways undone before. And one especially scene we saw was Duran and Cal. And Cal cannot join us today, but Duran, what went through the character's mind, Adam, as he's doing his vagary and combining, and then Cal jumping in there and they're combining, seeing this action unfurl?
Oh man, you know, it's been a while really since Duran has had that kind of battlefield synergy with a teammate like another Marshall teammate since Silm, rest in peace. And so it was like a real cool, spontaneous moment, and Duran was really blown away, but we were in the middle of combat. We had to get the damage in.
Indeed. But it was a scene. I was just like really excited to whip this out. I didn't think that Zeki would be the first to, well, let me say not the first. Technically, Minako was. But after now knowing that it was possible that you guys were going to do some type of combination, I thought that someone else was going to jump in. But then Zeki immediately was like, I want to do it. And so I was really happy to reveal his.
I mean, like, initiative also determines that a
That's
little bit.
true.
And it was like, Duran, he's like, I start dancing. And then it was Zeki. And then he was like, I'm going to start dancing and swirl with the person who literally just started dancing a second ago. And it was like the perfect time for them to do it, you know?
But in terms of Zeki and the character of Cal, I did like that scene was there, that it turned out that way.
I do too. And I feel like it's like sort of up to the fates a little bit to decide, the, you know, dice gods to let us know how we discover our spells.
We really needed that boost right then because we were really in some shit, so I'm also very happy.
I'm upset because I was like, I spent some time building Dark Ren, and so she had legendary actions and cool stuff, and like we saw some cool stuff actually blended in with the undead, and they were sapping her damage away and things like that. But she had so much more once they were gone. But then the power of fucking friendship, and just anyone can chime in here, just the power of friendship, just.
She was our friend. I mean, if she was just like an undead lieutenant, we would have just like fought her. But
If it was EA, we would have fought her.
yeah.
And also, it wasn't just friendship, it was actual magic.
Oh
Resto
yeah, let's not
magic,
forget all
too.
that magic we threw into it.
It was like real resto magic as well, you know? So,
The resto magic helped the power of friendship.
yeah.
Yes.
And you lost the 500 ruby diamond, right?
The 300 diamond.
Oh, that's how much she's worth to you?
That's how much that spell needed.
And an unstated number of years of Duran's life.
Yeah, unstated, but hopefully large.
I actually have, we didn't roll, but I have it written down exactly how many D4s I need for this like past battle. I've been keeping track of it. So, you know, once the dust settles, I'll tell you what this set is.
How many D4s is it?
Hold on, I'll tell you my count so far. So just so that way it's also on the record, Omar and I solidified how many D4s it is per spell level.
Yep.
So a 4th and a 5th is 1D4. A 6th and a 7th spell lot is 2D4. And then an 8th and a 9th level is 3D4.
What about weird twin spell and convoking the essence of God stuff that the numbers really don't?
Let's.
Why are you bringing that up?
Right?
We will see what will happen when it happens.
So this past battle has been a 4th, a 5th, a 4th, a 4th, a 5th, and a 7th. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 D4.
So what's the maximum number you can roll on 7d4s?
28.
28.
So you can get 28 years. Or less.
Or 7.
Or 7.
It's probably going to be something like 12 or 13.
Yeah, it'll probably be around the middle.
Right. I feel like I don't sound too happy about that.
I mean, he got 1,000 years to spare. He alright.
This is only going to bring us up to around 20, so we're fine.
Duran is okay. Like he said, a day that he would live with King is worth 1,000 years without him.
Oh.
More than that.
I'm gunning for them to survive.
Me too.
Gunning for them.
Yeah.
There'll be trials and tribulations and tests. I'll be sure. Wait until you guys get to the next layer. But I'm gunning for you too.
I just think that, like, one, I fucking called it on how this shard is an integral part of their fucking magic system.
Yes, you did call it, yes.
And I called it on the Hallister double checkmate.
What Hallister double checkmate?
That not only does Doramo have this capital in a dangerous checkmate, but Hallister also has it in a horrible, evil checkmate. And
oh, that he has a plan. There's two people who are trying to basically.
Yeah, the two bad guys already have the whole Corpus Arcana in the palm of their hands, and it's already over.
They don't have the whole Corporis Arcana in the palm of their hand.
Because they all did.
They do not, because they don't have Horatio in the palm of their hand.
And there's also offices on each plane, right? Yeah.
And Hallister didn't say anything about specifically what the Corpus Arcana. Right now, he just has.
Oh, this town in what you call it, at least I'm blanking.
The Arcane Capital?
The Arcane Capital.
Oh,
Yeah.
Delos?
Yeah, he has Delos in the palm of his hand. They both have it mutually in the palm of their hand.
Well, technically not no more, because that shit is on the ground now.
Yeah, and the shard is gone, and the fucking pardon my language.
Well, we don't know where the shard is, do we?
Well, no, the shard is not gone because
The shard's in Judean's hands.
Yeah.
Safely to whatever that gate
But
was.
it's gone from the center of the Arcane Capital, which means the Arcane Capital does not have the same defenses it had before. And Doramo is still Doramo.
But the shard was powering the Corpus Arcana. It's not the crystals that were powering the ley lines and the
Yeah, the ley lines are
wards.
just there.
I think those are different.
Yeah, no, those are different. The shard was keeping the Corporis afloat, so they were using it as a power source.
I think so.
Oh, if it's just for the Corporis, then oh well, who cares?
I care.
And then I think that like they have like a big crystal throne or whatever. So that was like enough of the catalyst, and then they create their own dew with the king being a holy wizard. I forget what his
divination.
theurgist. Yeah,
Theurgus.
Theurgus. So I'm sure he's able to create symphony and then use it on his throne that we were at in the royal district to create it, but he needs to be there, and then when he's not in there, then that's when the wards are down, and that's why Judean Sunfell didn't want him to leave. Right?
I think so.
That's what I think.
That tracks.
A valid theory. But, and as you guys,
So you agree?
I'm just saying it's a valid theory. I'm not like if it wasn't like you characters wouldn't know this or like that's insane. If it was something, but I'm like that's a valid theory. It could not be.
No, I know. I'm just Regina Jordan you.
But nevertheless, you guys finally actually made your way into the Corporis, found Duramo, and who had the war band with him, as well as Judean Sunfell, as we talked about, pulling out the shard. So, Adam, Duran, seeing his warband one more time, but as pawns of Duramo, and then Duramo in this very, what you found out later to be explosive and volatile runic magic room.
Oh my gosh, Duran was fucking pissed. He was so mad. He was so frustrated because these are people he cares about, and he knows that they're trapped, and that Duramo won't fight him or fight anyone as long as he has all these people that he can just throw at them.
Man, I feel like, yeah, and not to mention, we had the big reveal that, well, the blade of Syl was thrown in front of the ground to you, signifying his fate. And this could go to anybody, as we.
Syl's alive.
He's
It's
fried
fine.
chicken now.
It's fine.
Nah, it was just his blade, so I think that he is under Duramo's control like everybody else. But he was fighting back. It wasn't an easy one to get in his clutches, and he just threw that to like kind of shake us off. Or
Nah, he's a monk. Can't he just like get rid of charm effects on him or something?
But you know, Duramo is such a manipulator that I think he would use any edge he had to imply that Sim is dead. And I think if he'd actually killed Sim, he would have been more ham-fisted with it.
yeah, he would have thrown a beak at us, or
Yeah, he's
a
nasty.
claw.
No. It's like Alex said. He's a monk, so he can super shake off like things that are against his mind and charm effects like super easily. So he's fried chicken
I don't
now.
think.
Well, you did his Kensei blade was broken and thrown in front of you.
Yeah, his Kensei blade, his
Whatever that
specific
signifies.
blade, he's dead. He's Galeem fried chicken. He's Galeem fried air croaking now.
I think it's like in JoJo when Avdol meets Dio Brando, and instead of getting mind controlled, Avdol gets scared and he runs and jumps out a window. I think Syl may have fled for his life and like jumped into like a cliff or into a pit of something dangerous.
Oh, yeah,
and
how would he catch him?
probably died, but is probably alive because he's a survivalist.
I mean, how would he catch him? He can fly.
He's
got
pretty
what,
fast.
130 move speed or something crazy like that. Like,
Yeah, he probably just took off on his ass, and Duramo.
yeah, he probably did just
Yeah.
leave.
Yeah, if he
Not
jumped
just-
into
not
like
here-
a
not here
tangle brush
talking about it.
of thorns and stuff, they just have to leave and just be like, oh, well, here's his sword. Good enough. He's dead.
Although Duramo has never lied to us, so
Did he say he killed some?
he didn't say.
No, he didn't say he killed him. No.
Oh, when he left, he left with the warband, right?
I don't know.
You mean Dorama?
Yeah.
So yes, as you know, you all had a standoff with you had that standoff with Doramo, and he warned you to not use magic. And the last you did, exploding the entire place. And when he did sound very upset and teleported away. You didn't see if he went with the warband. They could be exploded and dead. Who knows?
Oh God.
No.
Oh my
it's
goodness!
so
I only
bad.
just thought of that.
No, I've been dreading it this whole time because Duran's greatest fear of all this is that it's not like you just wake up and you've been asleep for a long time, that they're in there and that they're fighting and they see it. and that they're going to have to see being controlled and hurting their friends and doing these things, all while deep down in there still being in there.
Well, I mean, let's hope they made it past explosion. Otherwise,
Horatio will not be able to handle the guilt if they all died.
otherwise we gotta start collecting them diamonds.
I mean, how are we gonna know?
Yeah, we'll never know.
We're not gonna find out till we run into Doramo again, and then Horatio's gonna go, oh no.
They're not here. Where are they?
Oh, you killed them, don't you remember? You did
I
this.
mean,
I shouldn't be laughing, but I'm totally laughing.
It would give us a tactical advantage.
And then Dren draws a blade on you.
Like, where are they? And he's gonna be like, ha ha ha, wherever bad elves go when they die.
And then he'll mind control Duran, who won't resist because he's in a rage, and then he will fight Horatio, and that's the boss.
Horatio versus
no.
I will say this. Oh my god, please don't. I will say this. I will say that question will be answered early on in this week's session, or the next session. Whether or not it's to be happy or sad or dark or not, I'm not gonna say, though I am curious to know if I'm taking it there or not.
I'm just trying to prepare myself for the off chance that they might have died, because that's gonna be a heavy guilt on Horatio. But he had to stop Doramo.
Indeed. So
Don't worry, King will console you because he'll be like, it was what had to happen. It was a few people, or the world.
I don't know. Maybe Duran will be unreasonable about it because of the pain of the loss. Who knows?
He is
We'll see
he's a
Sunday.
little child, yeah.
ooh, this is I can't wait for next session.
I cannot wait for next session either. I want to see where we all ended up, because it seems like I think King and Duran were somewhere where it was night. We were off in the water. Minako and Horatio was off in the water somewhere. And
Oh yeah, we were scattered to different places because something happened as we cast our magic. So we could be like,
Yeah.
who knows?
That was just like that moment during the fight when Minako grabbed Horatio and cast Tomb of the Vistas. That was just, I cried a little bit.
That was so good.
yeah, thank you, DM, for allowing that to happen.
Yeah, thanks for not killing us.
No, well, so to recap, everyone, as you were all doing your standoff, and Horatio, we found many things during that sequence. The first of which was Doramo had revealed himself to want to connect with Horatio, turn him to the dark side, as well as join the Trias together. And then it was a kind of a standoff, and what went through my mind at that point was, okay, you're like, I'm raining Witch Ball. I was like, they're gonna do it? Are they gonna do it? They're not gonna do it. Dorama's gonna take the shard, and they're gonna just be like, we couldn't do it.
They're not gonna do it, and he's gonna take the shard, and they're gonna be fucked.
And they're gonna be fucked, and it'll be yet another shard that they let go, and then we'll have to go from there. And then stuff probably would have happened. Like, if indeed it was the power source, I will not confirm or deny that since it was not revealed in the story. But that means that everything would have fell down to the ground, and who knows what you guys would have done at that point. But instead, you guys decided to, well, let me rephrase it. Horatio decided to just shed a witch bolt, and
I knew that like something was gonna go down, and that's why I was like, okay, convert spell slot. Convert spell slot. Convert spell slot.
I heard all this, and I was like, okay, I'll let. And at that point, I was like, all right, so everyone's gonna do something, and I was just like, what, are you gonna do this? I had to like pause myself, and I might actually edit that a bit, because I was just like, wait, you gonna do this? Let me try this again. Okay, no, they're actually gonna do this. Okay. I wasn't expecting. I thought that the impending explosion would have stilled your hands.
Well, it would have if Horatio would have been on Archon of Peace mode.
Oh my god.
But he was on Archon of War, and when you gave me that, you said that when I'm in Archon of War, I don't really have control of my anger. Like, I start getting angry, and it just... Well, so I kept that into consideration, and seeing this person who not only hurt Galdrum, but also hurt Ren and Syl, and is like kind of fucking shit up. Like, he was getting upset the more and more time passed by, and he was like, I can't let him get this shard.
And finding out about your mother being enslaved and their plan to corrupt you.
Yeah, like, it was a lot. And being that he was an Archon of War, yeah, it was just, he couldn't control it, and he just let it go.
It's like, shut up! It's like, you fool! Because that was the first time you've ever seen Doramo not his, like, deep, sultry, silky voiced, calm self.
Calm and collected.
He was like, shit!
Yeah.
Because
I'm surprised in that moment Doramo didn't try and counterspell. Or would it not have mattered because that was
I don't
magic
think
itself anyway?
I don't think it would have.
he didn't want to
I
use
don't think
any
he would.
magic.
Also, he used his reaction in order to catch.
That is true.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
It's true.
Hear it. So, and in that moment, you all set off an explosion, and then my mind had to pause, wait, and then and it was just extremely tense. You guys were just waiting to see what happened. I was like, I have to think about what's happening. Roll a D1. I was like, roll a D100. And I was like, 90 and above, the explosion goes off. Because it was only like a level 2 spell, whatever. And it was like 95%. I was like, fuck it. Fuck it!
Oh, so the highest. I was like, if I would have rolled dull, no explosion would have happened.
Possibly. It probably would just like something like would have popped. Maybe, depending where you. Because I didn't come up in my mind yet where your numbers were. I just said 90 and above, it explodes. And like anything below, I'll just improv and see where the numbers are. And if the number would have hit a certain threshold, probably if I did for like 0 to 20%, it would have exploded like on the corner, hitting Judean and knocking him out, and then like a whole scuffle probably would have happened there, and would have been I would want to see what would have happened then. But because you hit my predetermined 90 and above, and I was like maybe 95 to make it only like a 5% chance, but going up. But you rolled a 95 anyway, so that's why I decided to explode. Maybe I like to explode.
Yeah, I mean, that's where the story wanted to go, man. The dice decided. So
yeah, and in that, Minako, great. When things started happening, I was like, let's see what happens here. And then I was like, I don't want to kill one person. If you guys can figure out how to get out here, you'll survive. If not, people would have been died. I'm not gonna lie. This is a huge magical explosion. So the Minako using the tomb and freezing you in a block of ice saved both of your lives. Definitely. I was like, how's her? And because I didn't hear that you said, Alex, that you used it with him, and then until my brain started processing it. So I was like, Horatio might die. I need to think of something, but he would have to die. So, kudos. Because everyone else was doing something you weren't.
yeah, no, I was firing the witch bolt.
Yeah.
Horatio was ready to die.
Like I was thinking that it would be like some type of weird death scene.
It would have been so terrible if Horatio had died.
Would it have I mean, yes, it would have, but like that would have been some epicness though. Like dying in a blaze like that, and then like if your character died, and like roll another character.
Oh my goodness!
I mean,
yeah.
doesn't King have resurrection though?
Yeah, I could get resurrection. I was actually just gonna ask, have you decided how resurrection works in your campaign? Like, do we know those rules for certain, or?
Yes, its rules is written.
Okay. Yeah, so then we would just need diamonds then to do it.
Yeah, as long as you don't chop off their head, which is an explosion, so he could have been in many pieces.
I thought like if it was an explosion, I probably would have been in a lot of pieces. So you would have needed like true resurrection to get me back.
I think you only needed part of a body.
No, if it's missing the head.
This is metagame, but I kind of want Duran to find like a belt of dwarven kind. So I want to see how he looks.
A belt of dwarven kind.
The bearded elf.
My goodness.
That would be dope.
I know, but and then going on, then I was like, okay, so you shield yourself. The tomb doesn't really do as much HP as a huge explosion would be, but we'll see what will happen to you through the effects of that because as you land, I definitely have something in store. But before we get into that, we saw King and Duran. I was just like, okay, dimension door, 500 feet is not gonna save you from this explosion, and so I was like,
I mean, it'll take it out of the direct blast radius. You know what I mean? Like, because 500 feet was like to the ground.
Oh well, you're miles in the air though, and this is a huge, and it's like the aftermath of the explosion.
Oh, I thought that for some reason. I thought because the arcane gate can only go. I guess it doesn't matter. It's a extra special arcane gate that just wherever you are opens. That's sort of why I was thinking that the floating city was only like 500 feet in the air.
Oh, it wouldn't have done nearly much damage when it crashed, but his arcane gate, as I was saying, is not like a normal spell arcane gate. He's using a predetermined. Like remember, Horatio has a trinket that's doing it. It's not a.
Yeah. So that was my misunderstanding. So yeah, I just was trying to get us away from the direct blast radius, and then if we fell or whatever, like it is what it is. We're just trying to like prevent immediate death. You know what I mean? Like prevent instantaneous death.
But Duran using the. I was like, what? All right, so I was like, Duran, what are you whipping out this time? How are you gonna make sure that King isn't dead? And then whipping out the rest of your heavens do. It was a stretch, but I was like, that's fine, because the only reason why that worked is because you are you, King being the bringer of miracles, the harbinger of deities, and yada 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 yada. Having the heavens do react with your spells, it's fine, but you may see some adverse effects that happen to you as you went. And then of course Cal fucking turned into the Flash and burned everything up into the death, fucking gate of your vagaries, and just slowed down time enough to grab the shard and Judean and go through a wormhole through space-time, ending up in front of the gates of what he surmises as Eustacia, or some type of gate that he decided to unlock. Although, definitely, if anything, he was told to not unlock big, gigantic golden doors. But he did it anyway.
Yeah.
He opened the gate of alchemy.
We said don't. And he was like, the door, yes, excellent. That was my chance.
But nevertheless, he did open it up, and white shiny light as he zapped through, and that's where we ended with Minako and Horatio floating up from a lake and then defrosting, feeling terrible. You'll see what happens. And some type of, but it seems like you might be in Duskhaven because it was still dusk, though it could be dusk anywhere. And with King and Duran ending up at night somewhere, definitely weird that it's nighttime where it's always dusk. We're in Duskhaven, so what the hell could have happened to you? And then of course, Cal just in space.
Not a clue where we are. I'm thinking that maybe we got thrown off course and we're like in the swampy area, like to the south of Thelos, because maybe it's like dark and murky there. That's like my initial thought, but I really have no idea where we could potentially be.
Y'all accidentally plane shifted.
I'm like, I can't believe that. Like, there's no way that we could have accidentally plane shifted. That would be insane. But maybe. I really don't know.
I mean, a lot of magic happened.
I really don't know.
A lot of magic happened.
And
A lot of
quick back to what we were looking at before. Resurrection says touch a dead creature. So we're gonna need a true resurrection if you were blown to bits.
Exactly. So
In other words, the warband, if they were caught in it and they were blown to bits, they're gone.
Like, you gotta wait a little bit longer. I ain't strong enough for that, my friend.
And that one's like 25,000 gold.
You're gonna need also a lot of money.
Yeah, like the true resurrection is expensive.
Yeah.
A cheaper alternative would be getting a druid to cast reincarnation instead.
Can you? Let's see.
asked Ariel, like, hey.
Right? Maybe.
I mean, as far as where I think we're at, I mean, I think Minako and Horatio are probably like, out in the Golden Sea. I don't know if it was powerful enough to blow us that far, but it's possible that we're out in the Golden Sea, or at least in the river leading to the Golden Sea.
About, like, if you were to climb into a refrigerator while a nuclear explosion went off, like, about as far as that would take you.
I mean, yeah, okay. I don't know how far that would be, but it just feels like it's really far. We might still be in Duskhaven, I guess we'll find out next session, because the first thing Horatio's gonna do is try to talk through the earring, through the bracelets. First thing.
Yo,
Yeah.
those things are gonna
Alright.
be busted as fuck.
They're not gonna work, or they will work, and
They're not
we'll have
gonna
to coordinate a bit.
They're probably just gonna work for like two of us. Like whoever's near each other, that's who's gonna work for. That's what I'm thinking.
I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of our magic equipment was weird after what just happened.
Oh yeah.
I will say, effects will play the part. What did happen? I just can't wait. This is why I'm so excited. Because obviously this was all improv, because I didn't think you were gonna blow it up. I didn't think you were gonna get there in time with the power of friendship. So, and then I wrote over the weekend, over the week, what's gonna happen next, and I'm just like, oh my god, I'm so excited for it. And the party is split, but it'll work. Everyone will have equal amount of time, but it'll be more of like a listen to what's happened to them, and you're like kind of listening to the show, and then until it hops, because everyone will have a nice, good chunk of like 10 minutes or so, I predict, until we go. And I think you guys may or may not be back together, or I don't know, or maybe not, or you might die. We'll see.
What?
The thing is, though, that like the two DPS are together, the healer and the like off tank are together, and then fucking Cal is off by himself, who can heal and DPS. So it's like the party's really split, because I don't think Minako, like all Minako and Horatio have are healing potions.
We have potions, and a
Yeah.
servant who can feed them to us. Which is almost like having king, except not really at all.
Not really at all, exactly. And then, I'm interested to see where it goes.
Me too.
Can't wait till Sunday.
I feel like this. All I will say. So here's my meta moment for everyone. All I will say is that it was a shit ton of magic. This was like a runic and celestial, dwarven runes. There's all a bunch of weird runes. It's written all up in the place, and it was such a magical explosion that exploded. Like, I wish I can do the math and be like, it's an island worth of explosion that blew up a castle that was the size of an island. So it was enough TNT to blow up an entire island, per se. So if you think that exploding that much magic, so you know something big is going to happen, an adverse effect. Especially with all you gods and devils, and you are all, since you're all like level 13 at this point, or 14, remind me?
No, we're 13.
13, okay. Alright.
I thought we hit 14.
No, he said he was gonna tell us if we hit it or not.
Not yet. If we had 14, I would have done something different.
Right? Yeah, me too.
Okay, good. So yeah, you are in 14.
I thought that after this session we were gonna hit 14.
Oh, if that hit us to 14, that would of course it'd be exciting because we all love levels, but who doesn't love a level?
Feels a little soon though.
I think so too.
Yeah, you guys just hit 13 and just had your first battle doing your first 13 thing, so let the 13 sink in for a bit, and I'm sure you'll get there when you're ready.
Just trying to get us that level, guys. I really was.
No, I thought that we were closer. I thought that we were closer to 14 than that.
You are close because you did battle to battle to battle RP. It was a lot, but it wasn't like this session. You do the epicness of all that you've done. You've jolted yourselves up in kind of power level, so you definitely are close. Probably after this, how well this session goes, or after the next, you will reach it.
All right.
All right.
I will warn that, so you can start planning it. But as of right now, you do not have it. So all I have to do is survive next week. But my I guess that is part of my meta moment. And and that ends my meta moment. But any final predictions, or were those your final predictions?
We use the power of friendship, and the challenge you gave us is you're all broken apart.
Yeah,
And I have faith that you are all overcome.
I think we will.
You gotta have
I
faith.
think we will.
And then that's it because we don't have to pay royalties.
I think we will because the Liberators are a tightly knit group and they're all powerful in their own way. So I truly believe that we're gonna overcome whatever comes our way, and we will be reunited once more.
I think so too.
All right. I have faith. I think so. You guys will do well. And you guys have the abilities. I feel like you have the tools in hand and you're using them very excellently. Whereas you're not steamrolling anything, but you're like stretching your imagination to the point where you can resolve your issues, though through some dedicated work. So, very good job. So I feel like you will be able to defeat the task I set upon you in the next session.
I hope Ren's not dead.
Oh yeah, not to mention Ren teleported with you guys, and who knows what happened to her.
Hopefully she got on a wyvern and bounced.
Because we saved her only to have her be exploded, and that feels bad.
Yeah, no, she used her Stone Eden.
Stone Bakery.
Sanctuary.
Oh yeah, no, she's fine. She could dance in the air as a stone
Total
dancer, right?
defense. Stone
Total
Garden.
defense.
Garden of Eden.
Stone God.
Yeah. She felt a disturbance in the force and quickly shielded, is what I'm going to tell myself.
Hopefully, cross your fingers.
Right?
Oh, well, but that's all the time we have. Once again, thank you so much to my amazing cast, members of Descent into the Void. So excited for the next session. Thank you so much to the fans and all those who support us. We love you so much. From the first chapter to the last page, be kind to each other, appreciate one another, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Internet.